It's April 2009 and this is the re-release of Photo Walkthrough episode number 5, tutorial 1, chapter 5. This is a re-encoding of the original tutorial 1 chapter files. I managed to dig out the old files and re-encode them using our new encoding format, which looks much nicer than those original files and allows you to download and keep them. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi folks, well this one should be a pretty quick video. What I'm going to do is work on the sky portion of this image, and first of all I'm going to just create another layer group. This one's going to be the sky group, so I'll just name that, and inside there I'm going to create two curves layers. Just like before, we're making curves layers and not doing anything to the curve, we're just going to make the layer. The first one, the bottom one, is going to be my darkening layer. We're just trying to bring the sky down to the same sort of darker tones as the ground, and the second layer is going to be my contrast layer. And we're not going to need the layer mask on that darkening layer, so I'll just delete that layer mask by dragging it to the trash can. And then for the darkening layer we set the blending mode to multiply. I'm sorry about that drop down menu going off the top of the screen there, but you can see I've chosen multiply in the blending mode. And for the contrast layer we choose overlay. Right, you can see right off that that's pretty dark. The darkening doesn't need to be quite so strong. I'm going to drag that down to around 70%, something like that. I'm looking at this portion of the image on the sky, top left of the sky here. If I just drag the layer palette out, you can see the top right of the sky is still very hot. We've still got a region in the top right of the sky here that is quite a lot lighter than the rest of the sky, and I'm going to try and bring those together a little bit closer together in this portion. So just trying to get the darkening and the contrast right for the sky, for the main part of the sky. So using this contrast layer I'm going to just drag the opacity down, I don't know, around about there, 60%, and then I'm going to edit the layer mask for just that contrast layer. I'm going to grab my brush and my Wacom tablet. I'll just drag the toolbox in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm grabbing the brush. I'm going to be painting with black here because what I'm going to do is the contrast is what's making this bright region blow out so much. So I'm just going to paint out the contrast edits in that top corner by painting black on the layer mask for that layer. And that just dims that contrast down a little bit there, so that it brings the sky more in gamut with each other. If I drag the layer palette back in, you can see that we've got a little black region I've painted in the top corner of the layer mask there. If I just toggle that, you can see that's the layer mask I've drawn. And if I turn the layer mask on and off, this is by, let me drag that in, if I hold shift down and click on the layer mask, you can see that red X appears on the layer mask. That is actually enabling and disabling the layer mask, so I'll drag that out and then watch this corner as I turn it on and off. You can see that's with the layer mask enabled, that's with the layer mask not enabled, so that's kind of blown out, and there I've just painted the contrast back in. Sorry, I painted the contrast back out, so it's a little bit more in gamut again. Now, the final thing I'm going to do is, just like on the ground layer, you can add a layer mask to the layer group. So I'm going to add a layer mask to the sky group. This is going to apply to all the layers inside the group, and it's going to be in addition to the layer mask that's on that contrast layer for the layer that's inside the group. So we've actually got two layer masks applying to that layer there, and only the group layer mask applying to the darkening layer. So I drag that out. This is all brushwork now. I'm just going to grab the paintbrush using my square bracket keys to make my brush larger. I've got black selected and I'm just going to paint out that layer group portion at the bottom of the image there. This is all sky edits. I didn't want any of these edits to apply to the ground, so I've just painted all of that out, all the ground out. I've painted black on the layer mask. I'm going to zoom in now onto the pier and the woodwork under the pier. because that is looking a little too high contrast. So going back to my brush, just shrink my brush down to a manageable size and paint out those edits on the pier and also the woodwork under the pier there. Slightly smaller brush for this. Nope, I've just made a big halo across the top there. Control Z just to quickly undo that. A little bit more carefully that time. Let's just lighten up the towers at the end. And the other end. And then I'm going to do the same thing along this woodwork of the pier here. As you can see, some of the detail just coming back in there. Also, these houses just on the shoreline here picked up too much of my edit there and went almost completely black. So just painting the detail back in on those. Let me drag that toolbox out of the way because it's covering up part of the image. And I've just made another halo there. Doing this very quickly just to try and keep the video file sizes small, but I would normally spend longer on this. Zooming back out, just checking the sky to see if there's any areas that need a final bit of editing. I'm seeing a darker region here, so if I just paint out some of my edit there, just to try and keep the gradient between the sky portion of the image smoothly transitioning into the ground portion of the image. I don't want it to look like there's edges. I'm trying to avoid those halos, and I'm trying to just smooth the gradient from sky to ground. So let's just paint out just a little bit there. Just lighten that area up just a little bit, just try and bring it closer to the rest of the sky. And I'm going to do some dodging and burning in an upcoming video, but I'm just bringing the sky all closer together, ready for when I want to start adding that drama in. Just trying to give ourselves a good bedrock image here to work with. And I think that's probably enough for the sky layer. So I will leave it there, and I'll see you in the next video.
In May, I will be teaching some Photoshop Elements courses here in the UK in Anglesey. If you'd like to join in, or if you'd like to find out more, please head on over to the Wellshot website at wellshot.co.uk, and you can find out all the information there. It's a single-day course, absolutely packed with information on how to use Photoshop Elements to do exactly the kind of things that you see here on the show. I hope I'll see you there. Thank you very much for following along with Photo Walkthrough Tutorial 1. Again, this is a re-encoding, and I hope you're enjoying the better quality, and those of you that wanted to keep it can download and keep these files. Remember, you can get in contact with the show by emailing me at photowalkthrough@gmail.com, and if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, my username on Twitter is FloydUK, Floyd UK. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.
Photocastnetwork.com, your photography resource in the potosphere. Photocastnetwork.com